Hello, Winterford Paranormal here, and welcome to my channel. If you've just joined me, welcome. If you've been watching throughout the years, I'm sorry I've taken a very long break. You can see in my last video why that was. But the thing is, I'm back and I'm ready to go. So, what I want to do today is I want to take you through a paranormal investigator's kit, all the equipment that we tend to use for investigating, just to update those that don't know what equipment I'll be using throughout my videos. So let's make a start. So there's basically two types of investigating. You've got the science-based and you've got the kind of psychic-based investigating. Most reliable, science-based. Psychic, very, very interesting, but it's not 100% reliable, so you don't know whether it's the results are true or not, but it's very, very interesting. So I'm going to start off with the science-based pieces of equipment that we're going to be using. So what we need to do is, when we enter a room, first of all, we need to take a base reading of the temperature. So we know the base reading temperature of the room. That way, if we feel any change in temperature, we can then take another reading and we can see whether it's got colder, warmer, or, just to back up what people are saying. They say, oh, I feel like a cold spot over here, it's got a lot colder here. We can check with the thermometer. It's an infrared thermometer. You can pick them up on Amazon quite cheaply. And it gives you a reading of the temperature. You just point and you've got a little laser and it gives you a reading. So this we can check temperature changes in a room with. Another thing we use is EMF detectors. This is called a K2 meter and it detects EMF levels. EMF is electromagnetic field. The reason investigators checked for EMF levels in buildings before they went in was high levels of EMF can cause hallucinations. It can make you feel dizzy, it can make you feel sick. So it needed to be checked that the EMF levels in the room was not what was affecting the person. But since then, people have said that spirit energies are electromagnetic field energy. So what you can do, you can turn it on and you can check the EMF level. If there's no EMFs around, and then you start getting it to spike on its own or on demand, up to the red sometimes, that can mean there is a spirit energy in the room. Again, this is not proven. Could be phone signals, could be signals in the air, but it's very interesting when you ask questions and you get a response from this directly. Very, very interesting. Okay, so it's an EMF detector K2 meter, and again you can pick these up online. Next up we have dictaphones, recorders. These pick up things called EVP, which is electronic voice phenomenon. So basically, you can be talking, you can be asking questions to the spirits. Sometimes you get a response on here after you've asked this question, and it's like the answer has come from nowhere. You didn't hear it in real time, but it was picked up on the recording. Now, some theories behind this is that the frequency of a spirit's voice is like a dog whistle. We can't hear it with human ears, but if you blew a dog whistle, it will be picked up on the recorder, so you'd be able to hear it on the recorder. So the theory is that the ghost voices are at a frequency we can't hear, but it's picked up on the voice recorder. So this can be very interesting. I've caught a few EVPs which have been very eerie. You can see them in my previous videos. Very, very eerie. So it's interesting, very interesting when you get one. Very rare, but interesting when you do. Next up, we have a ghost box, or a spirit box. Loads of names, Frank's box. This is a radio, FM, AM radio. Difference is it's been modified so it constantly skips through the stations and the frequencies very, very fast. So fast that you can't get full words or sentences out of the radio stations. What happens? You ask a question. If you're lucky, you get a response. Sometimes it's one word response. Sometimes I've had sentences formed through this, all relating to this question that's asked. Very creepy. Is it a ghost? Don't know. Some people say it's pareidolia. You're just hearing what you want to hear. But very interesting. I like to think there's something in it, because most of the questions I ask I get a direct response to, and it's, in my mind, a little bit unexplainable. So yeah, ghost box, spirit box, Frank's box. Pick this up on the internet as well. This is PSB7 spirit box. There's loads of different types out there. There's even apps on your phone that you can get now to try this out. Again, I've used this a lot in my previous videos, to make sure you have a check and look through them. Very interesting results. Next up, we have camera. Okay. Ordinary camera. Take photos. Ask for a spirit to stand in front of you. Ghost to stand in front of you. Take the photos. Sometimes you'll get anomalies in the photo. Orbs. You must have heard of orbs before. Be very careful about orbs, because I think 99% of the time orbs are just dust particles or particles in the air which are being captured by the flash of the camera or the light in the room. But there are some orbs which don't look right. Doesn't look like moisture, doesn't look like dust, and you can get anomalies which just don't look natural. That can be interesting if it's really bright, a really bright orb. Interesting. No way of proving that it's a spirit or a ghost, but it's good to try. Next thing is video recording with a night vision camera. This is a very cheap night vision camera. Vivitar would not recommend this one. I actually have a proper night vision camera. You can pick them up on eBay quite cheaply now, that use infrared lights to see in the dark. Again, very good for documenting your investigations. You can clearly see with the night vision what's going on. Any anomalies, you'll be able to pick it up on the camera. Done a few videos where we've had orbs appear in the video and they don't act like dust. The direction they move is very, very odd, like it's got an intelligence. Video I did, two women with a seance, and had orbs flying out of their heads, literally out of their heads. Very interesting. So that's something you can do with the night vision camera. Good bit of kit. Now I'm going to move on, and we're going to talk about the more psychic things you can do. Things that tap into energies, spirit energies, kind of like Ouija boards. Oh, sorry I said it. A lot of controversy about Ouija boards. If you don't feel comfortable using them, don't use them. Full stop. If you do, that's your choice, but treat the spirits with respect. Don't do it for fun. Don't do it to play around. This is serious. You're potentially speaking to spirits. You don't know what you're opening up to. Treat them with respect. They'll treat you with respect. Any problems, close it down. I have no problems with Ouija boards at all, but that's just me. If you do, that's fine. You don't have to use it. So first thing I'm going to talk about is glass divination. Okay? So, it's similar to a Ouija board, but it's not a Ouija board. You have two lights, a white light and a red light. Basically, you set them up on the table, so red and white, and then you set the glass on the table. Place your finger on the glass. Before you do any of this, you do a visualization exercise to protect you. I have a video in my videos describing how you do that. So feather-light touch on the glass in a circle with other people. Not allowed to let go of the glass anytime. Don't break the energies. And basically you'll get spirit come through and you can ask questions, yes or no questions, and the glass will move to the corresponding light, whether it's yes or no, or sometimes the glass will just go crazy. I've had it on the table where it's just gone round and round and round in circles really fast. I've had it tip over. So yeah, very interesting to take part in. But again, if you're not comfortable with it, don't do it. Only do it if you know what you're doing or you're with somebody that knows what they're doing. Because again, if you're worried about it, you're going to be thinking all different things psychologically. It could affect you later. Me, I'm not bothered, I'm not scared. And I treat spirits with respect. And again, they respect me back. Any sign of disrespect or nastiness, close the session down, finish it. Done. Don't mess around with that. Up next, we have Pendulum. You can use a pendulum to ask yes and no questions of the spirits. Again, this is very interesting. Sometimes it takes a while to get connection to the pendulum that you're working with. And basically what you do, wrap it around two fingers, hold your arm in close to your body so you're not moving. Try not to move at all. I got a lot of comments in the video saying I'm moving my hand. I'm not moving it intentionally. Whether I'm doing it subconsciously, I don't know, but I'm not moving it intentionally. So you can ask if there's any spirits here. Could you give me a yes answer, please? What's your yes answer? You see it starts to move. What's your yes answer, please? Trying to be as still as possible. Lovely, thank you very much. So for me, my yes answer is left to right. Just stop the pendulum, please. Could you give me your no answer, please? And there we go. It's backwards and forwards for no. Please stop the pendulum. Again, I've got a whole video on this subject, how to use a pendulum. You can look to that to find out how to use it. But very good. Very intriguing. Next up, we have dowsing rods. Okay, dowsing rods, these have been used for centuries to douse for water and other materials, picking up on energies of water. So what you can do is you can communicate with spirits with them as well. So you hold them in your hands, loosely, thumbs over here, not on top, so they can swing easily. And then you ask, again, like the pendulum, could you give me your no answer, please? What's your no answer? And then you see they start to move. What's your no answer? Trying to be as still as possible. So for me, my no answer is crossed. Okay, bring it down, reset. Could you show me your yes answer, please? What's your yes answer? What your yes answer is. So it looks like the left one is coming out. Left one's moving out. There we go, so that's my yes answer, is the left one moving out. So again, from that you can ask questions. Yes and no questions. Again, I've got a whole video on dowsing, the dowsing rod, so you can look back to that and see how that works, and I'll tell you exactly how to use them. So that pretty much sums up a general investigation kit, paranormal investigation kit. There are other things you can buy. You can place trigger objects. So say like you had poltergeist activity and wanted to try and get them to move something, you could place a trigger object. So if you think it's a child spirit, you can place a doll or something like that. Have a camera facing at it, leave it, and see if it's moving throughout the night. So you can do that. There's lots of possibilities with spirit communication and paranormal investigating. It comes down to your creativity, and the best piece of advice I can give is just remember that these were once people. You wouldn't go up to a random person in the street and start being nasty to them and shouting at them and demanding things of them. So just treat them with respect, treat them like you were standing next to a normal person. Because if it's real, they still will have that same interaction with you. You give to them, they'll give to you back. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you found it useful, and you can implement some of the things I've said in your own investigations. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments box below. And I will try and answer them the best I can. So thank you very much for watching and sticking with me to the end. If you can hit that like button for me and that subscribe button and the bell icon, that would help me out greatly to get my YouTube channel up and running again, get some following going. But thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. Until next time, you've been watching Winterford Paranormal. Thank you. See you later.